Thinking about applying for an Australian visa? Whether it's for travel, study, work, or love? Knowing how long it will take could save you months of waiting, stress, and missed opportunities. In this video, we're breaking down the real processing times for October 2025. Not just the official numbers, but what's actually happening right now, and how you can avoid the delays others are facing. Hi, and welcome back to the channel. If you're planning to move to Australia, whether for study, work, travel, or family, the biggest question on your mind is probably this: how long will my visa take? In this video, we'll walk you through the latest visa processing times as of October 2025. We'll cover the real timelines across visitor, student, skilled, and partner visas, explain why some people get fast results while others wait for months, and share what you can do to avoid delays. And if this kind of content helps you, feel free to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment with your questions. We always read them. First, let's talk about how processing times are published and why we can't always rely on a single number. The Australian Department of Home Affairs publishes processing time guides based on recent decisions. These are expressed typically as percentiles. For example, 50% of applications processed within a certain number of days and 90% within a longer time frame. These aren't guarantees. They reflect what has happened recently. Many factors can push your application ahead or delay it. With that in mind, let's look at the rough ballpark for different visa types in 2025 and then focus on what you might expect in October 2025 specifically. Visitor and tourist visas are among the fastest. According to the Home Affairs Processing Times Guide, visitor visas often are processed in less than 1 day under ideal conditions. Working holiday visas similarly fall under speedy processing categories. That is, when applications are complete, there is low risk and there are no complications. But when you dig deeper, more realistic averages for visitor or tourist visas tend to fall in the range of a few days to a few weeks. For example, in 2025, some estimates are that tourist visitor subclass 600 may take a median of 14 days and up to 45 days for 90% of applications in more challenging cases. Another source mentions that 50% are done in 15 days and 90% in 35 days, especially when there are delays in peak times. So for October 2025, unless there's a sudden surge or backlog, you might expect for a straightforward visitor visa, perhaps somewhere between a few days and a few weeks. Just don't count on instant processing unless all conditions are perfect. Next, student visas, such as Subclass 500 and others. These have historically had moderate processing times. In 2025, the trend has been toward improvement. One estimate says student visas may take around 30 days under favorable conditions. Others say 4 to 12 weeks, depending on complexity. So there is already a spread, from 1 month to 3 months. In October 2025, a well-prepared application with complete documents, prompt medicals, and a clean background may be processed in 4 to 8 weeks, maybe faster if priorities or resources allow. But if there are missing documents or backlog, it could slip toward the longer side. Work visas and skilled visas are more complicated. In recent updates, processing times have stretched for certain skilled visa streams. For instance, the temporary skill shortage visa, Subclass 482, is reported as now taking 2 to 7 months in many cases. For the newly introduced skills in demand visa streams, which replaced or modified some TSS pathways, the specialist skills stream may be processed in 9 to 39 days, and the core skills stream in 30 to 47 days in many instances. But in practice, some applications are delayed beyond those ideal ranges. For example, one applicant reported waiting 73 days on a specialist stream application. Also, per a legal update, the 482 side visa course stream has 50% processed in 57 days and 90% in 4 months. So you see, even among skilled streams, there is wide variation. For October 2025, then, if you apply for a skilled visa, you should budget several months, possibly 2 to 6 months or more, depending on your stream, how complex your case is, whether you need assessments, checks, and how busy the system is at that moment. Permanent visas, partner and family visas often take the longest. For example, the Home Affairs Guide shows that permanent skilled visas as of July 2025 have a median processing time of about 8 months. Partner provisional or temporary visas are at about 16 months median. Other sources cite 12 to 24 months for family or partner visas. So in October 2025, if you are applying for partner or family visa routes, expect timelines measured in a year or more in many cases, especially if your case is complex or there is a backlog. Let's go through some of the factors that cause these timelines to stretch or shorten, which will help you understand where you might fall. First, completeness of application. Missing documents, unclear evidence, or incorrect attachments often trigger requests for further information. Those add weeks or months. One source highlights that incomplete applications face significant delays, so always triple-check your documentation before submission. Second, health and character checks. Many visa classes require you to complete medical exams by panel physicians and provide police clearances from countries you've lived in. These checks sometimes take time, especially if additional investigation or referrals are needed. Third, demand, backlog, and resource constraints. High volume periods, such as around term intakes, end of financial year, or when new immigration policies are announced, tend to increase delays. The Home Affairs Department has been allocating more staff and trying to reduce backlogs, but pressure remains. Fourth, complexity or risk profile of the applicant. If you come from a region where more background checks are done, or your employment or qualification path is non-standard, or there is ambiguity in your documents, your case may be flagged for extra scrutiny. Fifth, state nomination or regional processing can add steps. If your visa requires nomination by a state, the nomination stage itself may have processing delays before your visa decision is made. Sixth, changes in rules, policy adjustments, or system updates. In 2025, some visa streams underwent reform, such as the skills in demand stream. Such changes sometimes cause transitional delays as the department adjusts. Seventh, prioritization. Older or more urgent cases may get preference. New cases sometimes wait while legacy backlog is cleared. This reshuffling can produce variable wait times even for identical application types. Now, to narrow the focus, what about October 2025? What special factors might affect processing in that month? October sits in spring in Australia, not at the year-end crunch or at the start of academic semesters, so possibly fewer systemic peaks. But still, many students, skilled migrants, or workers may time submissions to align with new year, end-of-year business cycles, or academic admissions, which could push demand. Also, backlogs from earlier months may cascade into October. Further, any changes in immigration policy or resource allocation announced mid-2025 could influence the pace. For example, if the department increased staff or upgraded its processing systems earlier in the year, by October 2025, some improvements may manifest. We already see reports of faster processing in some visa categories in 2025, so October might benefit from those gains for certain visa types. With all that in mind, here is a ballpark expectation by visa type for October 2025. Visitor or tourist visas, a few days to a few weeks, often under 1 month for straightforward cases. Working holiday visas, similarly fast, probably days to weeks. Student visas, 4 to 8 weeks in many cases. Skilled or temporary skilled visas, 2 to 6 months depending on stream, risk, and workload. Permanent or partner or family visas, 12 to 24 months or more depending on backlog and complexity. These are estimates. Your particular case may differ. Next, a few illustrative scenarios to bring clarity. Imagine you are a student applicant in a country with low-risk profile, strong academic credentials, clean health and background record, and you submit a perfectly documented application in October 2025. In that scenario, your visa might be granted in 4 to 6 weeks. Now imagine someone applying for a skilled visa under a core stream from a medium-risk country, needing a skills assessment, plus requiring some background checks. That case may stretch to 3 to 6 months, perhaps longer if there is backlog or extra scrutiny. Or a partner visa applicant from a complicated situation, such as a spouse overseas, missing documents, or multiple countries lived in, might find that the decision takes over a year, possibly closer to the upper bound of typical timelines. You should also factor in that sometimes your visa decision might be delayed beyond published estimates due to unpredictable factors like staff shortages, policy changes, software outages, or shifting immigration priorities. Now, what can you do to improve your chances of a faster processing time? Here are tips to help. Submit a complete application with no missing documents, clear labeling, and consistent dates and names. Avoid confusion or ambiguity. Get medicals, police clearances, translations if required, and other supporting documents ready ahead of time rather than waiting until after submission. Choose reliable agents or migration advisors if needed to avoid small mistakes that could cost weeks. Lodge during lower demand periods if possible to avoid the busiest times. Monitor your application status regularly and respond quickly to any request for further information. Ensure your passport validity is sufficient and that documents such as bank statements or academic records cover all required periods. Be realistic and patient. Don't expect a complex visa to finalize in days. Plan with a buffer in mind. Processing time estimates are subject to change. Always check the official Home Affairs Visa Processing Times page for your visa subclass. Thanks for watching. Visa processing times in Australia can feel unpredictable, but being prepared and understanding the system can make all the difference. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and share it with anyone who's applying soon. And if you've already applied or just got your visa, tell us in the comments. What type of visa was it? How long did it take? And what country did you apply from? Your experience could really help others. See you in the next video, and good luck with your application.